Hello. Hello, guys. Welcome to this Dev Saturday. No, I said I missed that. Smooth Dev Saturday. I'm back and I'm back on the streams. Normally, I've been away for quite a while, but I'm back now. So I'm just gonna get right to it. So, what I've been up to basically, I've been creating videos. As you know, I started the Wednesday stream. But recently there's been internet challenges when I had to rethink the strategy of the live stream. So I decided I'll be pre-recording the Wednesday sessions and upload the videos in bits. That way it's even understandable. And I'll make the Saturday sessions the long versions of the stream. And for the next few weeks, I'll actually be touching on Microsoft Azure, how to host your web apps on Azure, the different means you can use to do that. And that is what I'll be focusing on. So, in case this is your first time watching my streams and you've not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Also, my podcasts, you can go ahead and watch and listen to my podcast because I started it as a video series also, so I post that on YouTube. Actually, I also schedule it as a stream on Thursdays, so it goes on this channel also every Thursday. I think by 12:15 p.m. thereabout. So you might want to watch out for that also. But of course, if you like just the audio, you can check out anchor.fm/thisdevlive. All the links are on my website. So let's get into business. So right over here, I have a simple ASP.NET Core web application. It's just the boilerplate code that was generated for us. You can see it right here. Just the normal stuff inside it. Now, what I'll do is I want to host this application online. So I get these questions that, so I finish writing my code. Where do I put it? I want to tell you that Azure is one of the options you have for hosting your web applications. And you can host pretty much any web application. And let me actually pop this here. So Azure Web Apps. You'll see that you are actually able to host a whole lot of services in Azure. So I just open that and you can see the kind of apps you can host, increase developer productivity, all those things. You can see the customers using Azure. You can also be apps, web apps for containers, and some of the related products that are actually with Azure. And you can check the pricing details also. Say for example, I want to host this in South Africa. South Africa should be somewhere. Africa is A. Oh, I think this is sorted in descending order. Okay, so I want to host in South Africa North, and I want my web server to be Linux. Okay, and this would be my rate. So on the free tier, I can create 10 web, mobile, or API applications. On the basic tier, I can create unlimited applications, and this will be the fee attached to it. Also, if I go on the standard plan, so this will be the standard plan, and I can go premium as I wish. So whichever plan I decide to go with is actually okay. But for this purpose, I'll actually be using the standard plan because there's some sweet things I want to show us that is part of Azure web apps that you can actually use. For example, deployment slots, staging, and all that. So let me just close this up. I'm currently logged into Azure over here. So let me just do a little bit of zoom into that so we can all see clearly. So what I'll do when I'm ready to host my application, let me actually stop running that. And then I'll just go over here and right click and go to publish. Okay, right click, publish, and then I'll just go ahead and do that. And then I get the option to see So this experience might be different from the Visual Studio you're using. It's perfectly okay. So I think I'm using 16.6.3 version of Visual Studio. No, 16.6, yeah, 16.6.6, yeah, that's the version I'm using. So you have the options of hosting. So we can look at these other options much later, but I'm actually concerned with hosting in Azure as a web application directly using the app service. So I'll go ahead and select that and click on next, and I see the options of hosting either on Windows or on containers or container registries on virtual machines. I'll select App Service Linux. Why am I selecting Linux instead of Windows? So the thing is, ASP.NET Core is cross-platform. It can run on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And to be honest, Linux hosting is cheaper than Windows hosting. So I would normally go for that. So I'll click on Linux and I'll click on next, and then it will list all my subscriptions for me if I'm not currently logged in. So I'm logged into Visual Studio with my account over here. You can see I'm logged in over here. So it has that account for me, and then I have a number of subscriptions in my account. So you can see all the subscriptions that I use. So I'll actually go ahead and I'll use the business apps and services subscription. So I currently actually have a web application running there, but I would not use that. So if I wanted to deploy to this specific application, I would select that. But what I want to do is go ahead and actually create a new app service, and I'll click on that, and then it will still load all this information for me. So it normally generated a default application name for me. So this name must be globally unique. But what I'll do is I'll just use mine. Um, okay, this should be globally unique enough. I'll select the subscription. I'm getting some noise feedback in my hair, but I think it's good now. Alright, so I'll select where it should be. So the resource group I want to put it in. So I'll just create a new name for this. I'll create a new resource group. That's like the logical classification of my services, because I want to use this for Smooth Dev Saturday. SDS is where I'll put it. Smooth Dev Saturday, whatever name I can give it. So I'll just create a new one right there, and then I can go ahead and use this name just like this, but I would like to give my app service name a very sweet name. So I'll just call it SDS Demo Service Plan right here. And I want to put this in South Africa North. And then I can select my pricing tier. So I have standard one up onto premium. I'll just go ahead and select standard one, this one right here. So I'll select standard one, which should be good enough for what I want to do. So I'll click on OK and I'll click on create. So that goes ahead to create my app service plan. Actually, create my app service with the app service plan. If I was to go back into Azure and select my resource groups, it should have started the provisioning process. So I'll just wait for that to complete. So I have a couple of app services I actually have running here, but I'll just wait for Visual Studio to finish its work so I can show you all that. So I'm just pretty much waiting for that process to complete and I'll be good to go. But normally I could do this from inside Azure itself. Go ahead and create a resource group and start adding stuff in here. So you can see right here, I have my SDS resource group already created. So the resources inside it are still being created. Maybe in some other series, we'll actually walk through the whole Azure, what it means, the benefits, how to get started with a free plan, and we'll look into all that. So it's still going ahead to create that. Okay, I can see my web app is ready, and I can see deployment slots here. I will leave this for another day. All right. So they are just like environments I can use for publishing my application, and I'll use this in conjunction with Azure DevOps. So if you missed the Azure DevOps videos, you can go back on my YouTube channel to check out those videos. So I'll just click on finish here. Okay, so it's done creating. I can see all that configuration in here. And if I was to actually go into Azure and refresh this, I can see my service plan. That's like a virtual machine or a server that contains my web application. So it's a Linux machine, it's a Linux box that contains my web application. It has IIS installed and all that if it was on Windows. Alright, so if I go into the web application actually, so what it will have for me here is a boilerplate application, like a default application. And it's going ahead to give me a link here. So if I was to go to this link over here, I would see the default view of what it looks like. Now, all I need to go ahead and do is just click on publish. And then so it will build this application in release configuration and then package it up and then deploy. So that is what is happening down here. So it's building that app in release mode. As you can see, that's the build configuration right there. So it's still going ahead to finish all that process. And you can see publish is successful. So it will go ahead and restart the application itself and then launch the browser to visit that URL. Alright, so this is my browser with my code. I think it's still trying to do some startup events right there. So I'll just go ahead and refresh this, and you can see my web app is up and running. If I refresh this page actually also, the one that launched, I should be able to see my web page right there. So I can actually go ahead now and modify some stuff in my web application. So for example, I go into the views home index folder. I should be able to change some stuff. Let me just remove this one and say this is Smooth Dev Saturday, and I'll just go ahead and save that. Right click and publish. So it has this configuration already. I'll just go ahead and click on publish and then go ahead build, push, and then I'm good to go. So it's done publishing. If I go ahead and refresh this page, you will look at the subtle difference. We'll see. You can see this right there. If I go ahead and refresh, okay, still restarting. And it should come up any moment from now. Now, this is super weird. Okay, this might take some time actually. Nope. Now, Let me actually restart it by hand. This was not supposed to happen, but stuff happened. So let me actually open this up. Okay, now it's up. As you can see, this is smoother side. I think it was just trying to finish that restart process to boot up the server. Okay, so I actually don't like this page title here, so I'll go ahead and change that. It should be inside this shared layout folder. So I'll change this up here to Smooth Dev Saturday, and then down here. Okay, let me actually change this also. And then my footer here. I actually also want this year to be dynamic, so I'll just change this up to datetime.year. I hope I still remember my code. Yeah, this should be it. Oh, is there something I'm missing? Oh, datetime dot now dot year. Aha, that's it. So I'm comfortable with whatever I wrote here, so I'll just go ahead and publish it. But that kind of confidence is sort of scary, so I'll just go ahead and publish, and then to build and push our code up. So I'll just chill now so we don't get that web page not found error again. I'll actually wait for it to launch itself. Now, this process is sort of well, it happened. So I'll just wait a little while. I'll just wait for that to happen. So now this process actually works fine, but let's say the deployment guide works fine and okay. And remember, in the previous episodes, we talked about DevOps, how we can automate deployment of our applications, and that is what I would actually go ahead and do next. The reason I started this app from scratch is I want to show us how to add this is source control, and then actually go ahead and complete that whole process. So I'll push this go to GitHub, and then we'll pick the code from there, we'll build it, we'll deploy it to separate environments, dev, staging, production. We'll even do some configuration management for our application, even though there are some better ways to do it, but I'll show us how we can do that using the tools we have. So pretty much that's what I have to show for today. So I think before I go for today, I should actually just add this one to source control. So right down here in Visual Studio, you see the option to add to source control right down here. Down here, add to source control, and that is what I'll go ahead to click, and I'll select Git. So what it does a git init in my solution for me. It goes ahead to add my files with the git ignore files using Visual Studio.git ignore, and then it does my first commit for me. So what I'll do now is I'll actually go ahead and push sorry for the mess, and push this code over to GitHub. Alright, so I'm done doing that. What I'll just do, I'll click over here. There's some stuff. This is not responding, so I'll just go to the Git tab in my Visual Studio here, and I'll click on push. So when I click on push, because I've not added any remote to this application, it's telling me I need to add a remote. So what I'll go ahead to do is actually, so I can connect it to a remote Git URL or GitHub Enterprise or GitHub itself. So what I'll do, I'll push it up to GitHub so you can see all the orgs I belong to. But I'll select my default one, and let me give it a name: SDS Azure Web App Demo. And then I can give it a description if I want. So I'll just say demo for Smooth Dev Saturday for Azure Web Apps. And this is the application we'll actually continue to use for all that process. I can start to make it private if I want, but I don't have anything to add there, so I'll just go ahead and do that and push. So to go ahead and push my code into GitHub. And then this is where we'll pick up from next week on Smooth Dev Saturday. Okay, so the code is now in GitHub. If I actually go into GitHub, github.com/ Dara Oladapo. That URL will not be found. Yeah, I know. So I think the reason why that app had that problem starting up was we did right-click publish, so it had to restart. But if I were to use Azure DevOps, I will see we wouldn't have that problem, and that is why we would actually. That's where we'll start from on next episode. How to do all that. Even though we've studied Azure DevOps, I just want to show us the flow, and we'll do some Azure Web Apps, looking deep into it and all things it has so far. So this is the application here. You can go ahead and check it out. You can see one branch, two commits. I will find from here on. So guys, if you have any questions at all or things you need to know about Azure, Azure DevOps, GitHub Actions, pushing to repos.net, please feel free to drop a comment. I will check them out and I will respond to them and create some episode based on that. If I have found it based off of that already, I'll actually go ahead and give you the link to that, or I'll mention it on the next stream when I see the comment and all that. So once again, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you very much for joining me. Peace.